Ready to manifest the money, business, and life of your dreams? Do you wish you had more ease and flow in your business, your finances, your relationships, and everything else? There's a way to manifest simply, easily, and effectively without exhaustion, and I'm here to show you how. Hey there, I'm Elise McDowell, money mindset mentor and seven-figure CEO. And in this podcast, I will teach you how to reshape your money mindset, manifest consistent money, increase your business sales, transform your self-concept, and create the life of your dreams through the power of your mind. I'm here to help you go all in on you so you can go big in everything you're here to do. Let's get into the show. Hello, gorgeous people. Welcome back to another episode of Girls That Manifest. Today, I want to talk about a practice. Some people call it a technique, some people call it an exercise, but to me, it is the practice of mirror work. And although it isn't technically a manifestation technique or even anything to do with the law of assumption, in my experience, it has been so powerful and so healing for me that it has completely assisted me in manifesting much bigger and greater things without my own assumptions kind of blocking me from them, right? So I'm very excited to talk about that. Let's get into it. So what is mirror work? Well, I first learned about mirror work from the one and only Louise Hay. And if you've read any of her books, you will know that she talks a lot about mirror work in terms of self-love and accepting yourself as you are and really healing your relationship with yourself. And for me, that's exactly what mirror work did. I started working on self-love probably several years ago now. It was a conscious decision because I noticed that I had a lot of really deep-seated beliefs and assumptions around my own worth, right? And if you've done any kind of personal development work, not just relating to manifestation, you will have noticed that perhaps you have patterns and stories about your unworthiness in different areas of your life. And you might have noticed that they trickle into all the areas of your life in different ways. Well, I realized that about myself and I was like, I don't really want to continue living a life where I think and feel this way about myself. So I want to change it and I'm going to start doing self-love work. So Louise Hay and Margaret Paul were the two people that I started listening to when it came to self-love work. And of course, like I said, mirror work comes from Louise Hay. So what mirror work specifically is, at the very nucleus of it, it is just repeating affirmations, which are simple positive statements, expressing the truth that you want to feel and know about yourself out loud while looking at yourself in the mirror, right? It's looking at yourself in the mirror and repeating affirmations that tell the story of who you are and who you want to be now. And I know it sounds so simple, and when you think about it from like a practical, logical perspective, you're like, how would that do anything? Like, how would it actually do anything? Change anything about how I feel about myself, how I view myself, what I'm manifesting, what my life is going to look like? How will that change anything? Well, I say until you do it, you can't say anything about it, right? Because to be honest, tell me, when you look in the mirror, how often do you actually affirm your beauty or your intelligence or your greatness? How often do you actually look at yourself and marvel at that beautiful soul looking back at you? I would say never for a lot of you, maybe a couple of times throughout the entirety of your life, but I wouldn't say it's a regular thing you do every single day, is it? So let's put judgments aside and let's just approach mirror work with an open mind, because like I said, it's absolutely changed my life. And I talk about it in Saturate That Shit, the challenge, and I show people how I do it and how it actually moves me emotionally. And when I started doing it every day, oh my God, it rapidly changed things for me, especially when it's come to relationships and changing my stories around men and changing my stories around myself in relation to men and changing the type of men that I have attracted in my life, which is beautiful because that is what I wanted. I didn't want to keep attracting terrible men. I wanted to attract better men, good men, men with integrity, and doing this work really did that. Now it's changed a lot in different areas, but that is the one that I've noticed significantly change because I am very different to who I was even a few years ago before I started doing this work. So, why mirror work is important is because It requires things of us that we don't actually notice or acknowledge or point out when we look in the mirror. Like, think about it. Most of the times we look in the mirror is to like get ready for the day. Maybe it's brushing our teeth. Maybe it's brushing our hair, popping pimples, putting on makeup. But it's never really to see ourselves, to witness ourselves. So why we do it is for presence, right? To be with ourselves. Actually choosing to gaze into your own eyes and see yourself, see that soul looking back. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever really looked deep into your eyes in a mirror and seen the whole universe in your eyes? I remember going to a conference a few years back, and we had to do this exercise where we found a partner and you had to just stare into each other's eyes for a minute. And at first, yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable. You're just staring into the eyes of the stranger. But once you settle and get comfortable, oh my God, you look into the soul of that person and it feels like the whole universe is in their eyes. It's quite a profound exercise to do. And if you ever do it or have someone you want to do it with, try it out because it is quite remarkable. And that's what you get when you look into your eyes in the mirror. We also do it for intention. To look in the mirror is usually about our appearance, right? We don't look in the mirror for anything else. But when we do mirror work, it's not really about what our face or our body looks like. It's actually about intentionally seeing our whole selves, our emotional, our mental, our spiritual, our physical selves. It's about seeing that version of us who is perfect in all the imperfections that we believe that we have. It is truly seeing yourself as a whole being. And then, of course, why we do it is the vulnerability of it. It is quite confronting to look at yourself in the mirror and begin to tell yourself things that you probably haven't told yourself. Or you have, but you haven't been looking at yourself while you say them. It very often feels like you're exposed in some way, that you're naked. You feel naked. You feel seen by yourself, like you can't hide. You're completely visible to yourself. And that, of course, would make anyone feel vulnerable or make anyone feel uncomfortable. But there's something really beautiful that happens when you keep doing it, even in those moments where you find it hard to look at yourself or say something kind to yourself. In fact, especially in those moments, it is very beautiful, very raw, and very real. But as you keep doing this work, what you find is that you begin to accept yourself in ways you never did before. And you begin to love yourself deeply, far deeper than you have experienced before. You begin to see yourself as this, almost like a baby again. You know, like when you're around babies and they're just cooing or gagaing, whatever they do. They're a delight to be in the presence of, right? It's a delight being there. You feel delighted in yourself as you see yourself in the mirror. Another thing that you'll notice with doing mirror work is that it often brings up powerful emotions. They might come out of nowhere, or they might have been building before you even started. But when you think about it, you know, we have that voice in our head that's constantly telling us what's wrong with us, why we did something wrong, how stupid we might have sounded when we said something. Little things that just grate on you bit by bit, day by day, but you probably haven't even noticed yourself saying to yourself. So when you suddenly confront yourself in a mirror with love and kindness, there may be tears or anger or sadness or even joy. I've experienced all of them. Every single emotion I have experienced. And I even filmed myself experiencing those emotions and showing my students inside the Saturate That Shit Challenge. And it's because this work brings up how we truly feel about ourselves. So how do you do mirror work? Well, it's very, very simple. It is not complicated at all. You stand in front of a mirror and you tell yourself different affirmations you want to feel about yourself. But if we broke it down into a step-by-step, it would look like this. You would set yourself up in front of a mirror. Usually for me, that's in the bathroom. Sometimes it's my standing mirror, but for me, because I can get closer to the mirror, I do it in my bathroom. So I stand in front of my mirror. Usually I have the door closed in my bathroom if I'm in a house with people. If I'm not, then I don't need to. And then I just take a moment to really look deeply into my eyes. I might focus on my pupils, or I might just focus on the shape of my eyes. But I really just look. I look at myself I don't say anything. I just look. I see myself. And often I find myself saying now, wow, wow, you are beautiful. Look at this incredible human. Look at this soul right here. Before I've even begun the mirror work, I'm already saying that to myself because I've been doing this work for quite a while, so it automatically kicks in. But as I stand there looking into my eyes, I will then, once I've had my moment to sort of settle in, I will begin to speak my affirmations. And they're always I am affirmations, but sometimes I will do it in a way where I'm talking to myself. So instead of saying I am, I will say you are. So I might be saying things like I am beautiful, I am kind, I am loving, I am brilliant, I am smart, I am intelligent, I am funny, I am remarkable, I am magnificent, I am brainy, I am fun, I am sweet, I am sassy, I am lovable, and I am loved. And I will continue just saying any affirmation that comes to mind that I want to know and feel and acknowledge about myself. And as I speak, I don't just say the words, I often feel them. Doesn't mean I feel the specific emotion of the word that I'm saying, but I feel them, like I accept them. I'm not just reciting them almost like a robotic affirmation. I'm saying the words to myself and then I'm allowing that moment to accept it as I say it. And it's not about feeling euphoric. I don't feel euphoric or happy or even positive. But for me, there's this underlying thing of accepting what I'm saying. It's quiet and it's confident and it really is a feeling of just accepting it as truth. Because if you keep getting told something over and over and over again, of course you're going to eventually accept it as truth. And the compounding of that is I have been doing this for over 2-3 years now. So yeah, of course it's compounded. Of course I'm accepting it now. Maybe in the first couple of weeks that you do it, you don't necessarily accept it. But it will come. It will come and it will blow you away with how impactful it's going to be on your life. And if any doubt or fear happens to get in the way or like try to take over the session, I always just say, no, that's not true. That's an old identity. That's an old thought that is not my choice anymore. This is what I know is true about me. This is what I've decided is true about me. I know that I am the I am. I am the awareness behind all of this. And I am is only acceptance, only wholeness, only fulfillment. And once I finish my mirror work session, I'll usually wrap it up with saying something like, I love you so much. Maybe give myself a kiss in the mirror, whatever feels good. And then I go to bed or I go and do something else. It's that simple. And it can take less than 5 minutes to do, but it will change your freaking life. It will change your relationship with yourself, which is amazing for self-concept work. It lays the foundation for being able to change your self-concept faster. Because you don't have these deep-seated assumptions and beliefs and stories telling a different story or undermining the story that you're trying to tell. You don't have these assumptions going, no, but you're not good enough. Never have been, never will be. Those stories aren't there anymore because you have been doing the mirror work, affirming to yourself, I am enough. I am worthy. I am more than adequate. I am worthy and deserving of everything I want. You've been doing that every day. For a couple minutes a day, feeding yourself those new stories, new ideas, new affirmations, new thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions for however long you've been doing it, right? So with any type of work that we're doing in order to change our lives, it requires consistency and it requires persistence in doing it. This doesn't work if you only do it once today and then you never do it again. And then you're like, oh, but I don't feel any different. It's like, well, yeah, of course you don't. You've been affirming the opposite, telling yourself that you're not good enough for 30 years, 25 years, 50 years. And one day of doing the opposite for 5 minutes isn't quite going to cut it. So this is why we've got to do it consistently and with persistence. Now, to look at how this would go in like specific areas, I will give you some examples because I always love examples. I find them much easier for me to get it. So let's use 3 different ones: business, money, and relationships. Okay, so in business, mirror work, if you wanted to focus specifically on your self-concept and how you feel about yourself in your business, it's focusing on your identity as a business owner. It's not focusing on the specific work that you're doing, right? It's focusing on you, the self. So who you want to be is you are moving from being like someone who is desperate, needy, who's searching, chasing, wanting business, clients, audience members, subscribers, whatever the thing is that you're focused on right now. And it's very much moving yourself into the story and the assumptions and the reality that I am already there. I'm already the sought after expert. I am already accepted and loved and popular and whatever else you want to feel and experience in your business, right? So that old story you might have been telling yourself is, I am invisible. I am struggling. I am not interesting enough. I am not ready. I am too scared to stand out. I am not visible. And when you go to do your mirror work, you can change those stories to, I am confident. I am magnetic. I am an authority. I am wonderful. I am expanding. I am successful. I am accomplished. I am valued. I am popular. You can tell yourself different stories like that. When it comes to money, let's say your story has been around, I never have enough, I'm always broke, I'm not good with money, I'm bad with money, I am finding it difficult to find money or to make money. You would then do the mirror work and choose literally opposite things to affirm as I am statement. So it might be like, I am wealthy, I am wealth, I am abundant, I am rich, I am successful, I am comfortable, I am safe, I am free, I am luxurious, I am overflowing. In relationships and dating, if you have a story around I always get ghosted or I am never enough for commitment, there's always something wrong with me, I am never chosen, I am always unwanted, you would then change the story and look at yourself in the mirror and tell you the opposite story. Like, I am adored, I am cherished, I am desired, I am the prize, I am committed to, I am irresistible, I am desired, I am deeply loved, I am respected. Or as always, you can take it right back to the heart and just focus on whatever it is you want to tell yourself now, how you want to feel now, who you want to be now. I am vibrant, I am healthy, I am magnetic, I am favored, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am brilliant, I am lucky, I am thriving. Anything, literally anything. That's the beauty about this particular practice, is that it doesn't matter what you say. Just say loving, kind things to yourself over and over as you stare deeply into your eyes. And so what you find as you continue to do this work is that it gets easier. It gets more enjoyable. You want to talk to yourself. You want to affirm yourself more. You start becoming more aware of how you talk to yourself as well. And you begin to change the thoughts that you have throughout the day to be more kind and generous toward yourself. For me, it has made me significantly kinder towards myself and ultimately people as well, more accepting of people and more accepting of myself. It has also made me, how would I explain this? It's made me elevate or raise my own standard in what I accept in behavior from people. So, for instance, like I said earlier on in the episode, how I used to sort of attract men who had really shady behavior or really bad behavior. And for me, I just thought that was sort of how men were. But I realized that I had a story about it. And more importantly, I had a story about me and the type of men that I attracted. And so doing this work really changed not only me and how I felt about myself, it helped me raise that self-concept, that self-worth about myself, but it also changed the type of men that I was attracting to me. So that's pretty amazing. I find that really, really impactful. And if you are trying to manifest people into your life, or you're trying to change the behavior of people in your life, you have to look at self and you have to change the story about yourself and what you believe you are, what you believe you're worth, and what you're tolerating, because that's ultimately why you get behavior the way that you get it, is because your self-concept and the way that you view yourself accepts it, allows it. But once you start doing this work, once you really fall in love with yourself and accept yourself and see yourself as perfection, literally like a daughter of the universe, daughter of God, as innately perfect, you become very, very set, very clear boundaries, very protective of yourself, but not in a thinking the whole world is out to get you. You're very clear, you're very open, you're very welcoming, but you will cut a bitch off if any skullduggery starts happening. And that is it from me this week. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I would love to hear from you. If you have tried mirror work, how did you find it? Or if you haven't yet, will you give it a go? If you haven't yet, I highly recommend you to sign up for my free Abundance Vault, which has over 25 plus money mindset and manifestation resources for you. And if you love this episode, I would love for it if you could become a subscriber so you can listen to more, or be very bold and daring and leave a review if you love the show. Other than that, thank you so much for listening. I will catch you in the next episode.